All right, y'all. I, I don't think y'all ready for this one, uh, but we got to talk about it. Okay, there's honestly so much to talk about that I don't even really know where to start. But I've got a few bullet points here. I'm gonna take care of y'all. I'm gonna get you in and out quick because, yeah, to be honest with you, I'm exhausted and I'm tired of thinking about anything, what seems like anything but football. And I know you guys feel the exact same way. So we're gonna air out this dirty laundry together. I'm gonna tell you about scapegoats, or one in particular. Okay. We're going to talk about the master plan. This is kind of a touch or a tease to some things that I've got planned for the future. I've touched on it in the past, probably a couple months or so. Even had some deliberation amongst people who thought I was kind of crazy for saying some of the things that I said about the master plan. And then just a bunch of other things that I want to make sure that we touch on with it's just as far as realistic expectations for tomorrow's matchup with the Falcons and what to expect for the rest of the season. There is believe it or not, there is some good news that I've got for you. I'm gonna make you wait for that though, because it's gonna kind of tie everything all in together in terms of the master plan. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to it, y'all. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, let's get right to it. 3, 2, 1, boom. Here we go. So here's how I honestly feel about Zeke. Okay. I asked the question, are we sure that he wasn't going to get in the way of the Ricos, the Royces, the Deuces, the whoever else you name it in the running back room, this backfield, this running game, keeping other people. Let's just say, are we sure that politics weren't going to take precedent over meritocracy? Okay. The Zeke thing, when you see the headline that says, you all saw it by now, okay, no one's surprised that he's inactive. I've actually been calling for that. But the way that it's gone down is just yet another, to me, I'll show you exactly what my initial takeaway was, okay? To me, it's serving as yet another distraction, okay? Scapegoating is one way of characterizing it for sure, but it's a distraction from the anything but football that's happening right now in Dallas, okay? I've got a list right here. This is all just within the last month, okay? And then I'm going to show you my initial reaction. Actually, I'm just going to tell you that one right now so we can just get that out of the way because I got to go through this in like checklist fashion. Like I said, there's so much to say. I feel like I don't even know where to start. Zeke is inactive, so we'll just continue the streak of letting anything but Cowboys football be the storyline stealer. Hide that lifeless offense and JV defense behind the hysteria of a player who once was. Smart business, if you ask me, Mr. Jones. Yeah, that deserves a drop. We see you, Lord Jones. We see you. Okay, here's my "Are we sure?" tweet from back in, when was this? August 18th, 2024. So before the season even began. Well before that, actually. 2 weeks before. Actually, 3 weeks before. Are we sure Deuce, Rico, and Royce are going to get a fair shake with Zeke in the picture? Are we sure Zeke won't be a guy that IRs or retires and then returns mid-season or down the home stretch if things are going well for the playoffs, whatever? Are we sure that Zeke isn't the fourth most serviceable player in the running back room right now? I'm just curious. I think Zeke still has a little something, and I know why he was brought back, but I haven't seen him play. And to that point, y'all, Mike McCarthy was trying to make a statement. It's been a pissing contest between him and Jerry Jones on a couple different fronts that we're going to talk about here in just a second. But squeaky wheel gets the grease. Zeke, Rico becomes. People said that I was crazy for saying he took the backfield by storm. He probably didn't. That probably was a little bit hyperbolic, but those people missed the point. Okay, Rico has been the most productive and serviceable back all throughout training camp and all throughout this season on a per touch basis. Okay, it's been widely reported. It's been very easily recognized from the casual fan and anybody that watches the game. Okay, clearly the most juice, clearly the most versatile player of anybody in that backfield right now. Okay, dominates the touches in weeks. I want to say weeks 4 and week 5, whatever the stretch of weeks was. I can't even remember this point, but it was Giants followed by Steelers. Okay, Rico was clearly the lead guy. Zeke is audibly frustrated. voiced his frustration to the media. Very next week, what do you know? Zeke dominates the touches again. Very inefficient against the Lions, and it's just an embarrassing effort all across the board. Okay, now here's my issue with it, right? And here's what I think happened. The Cowboys let Zeke know he wasn't going to be making the trip this week. Zeke voiced his frustration and probably aired out some of the dirty laundry that I and many others have been voicing our frustrations over all along, okay? I guarantee you Zeke had something to say to Jeff Blasco, who has never been a running backs coach prior to his tenure here in Dallas, who, inexplicably missed, your guy Nick's on Twitter, my partner last year during the regular season and postseason too, actually. Working together with PSF, we talked about this. This was one of our main points all throughout the season, our kind of our MO, more or less, of low-hanging fruits that the Cowboys must take care of if they want to get to where they want to go. Jeff Blasco, the Cowboys run game coordinator, running backs coach, okay, last year, 2023, missed inexplicably the first. So he was there for week 1 and then was out to a personal leave of absence weeks 2 through 7. All right, that right there was sort of the microcosm for everything that's transpired. This Cowboys team cannot run the football. I told you guys I did a project about that this past week, okay? I don't even know if this is sharing right now. I hope it is. I'm going to feel really dumb, but I'm not going to go. Yes, it is. Okay. Rico and Zeke. From a rush yards over expected this season, Rico is 41st. Zeke is 51st out of 52 qualifying running backs. Rico and Zeke are 1st and 6th. I'm sorry, I should say Zeke and Rico are 1st and 6th, respectively, in rushing attempts in between the tackles. Zeke at number 1, 70% total. Rico at number 6 with a 66% total. I did all this for you guys. It's all there. You go search it, go find it. My last few projects on any of these platforms: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. That's the largest one and probably the most relevant for a lot of you who, if you're new here, it's probably how you're finding me. There is that all but proved my point that I've been talking to you guys about all along, the how in the running game. There just is no how. There's no solution. There is no nuance. There is no deviation from the boring same old gun run, okay? This team, Zeke probably said a bunch of that stuff. Brought all of it out, aired out the dirty laundry, and that's why you see this sort of petty party, I want to say it. The Cowboys declaring Zeke inactive for this game due to conduct detrimental to the team, right? That's the fastest way, right? That right there is the fastest way to piss away any sort of locker room continuity or buy-in or belief, whatever you want to say, from an entire team that's decimated by injuries right now, reeling really with their season on the line tomorrow, just a couple days before the trade deadline. I told you guys the Jones is all along. That's part of the master plan, okay? Beat San Fran, beat Pittsburgh. They did that. Beat Atlanta. Be no worse than 5-3. So we're already past that point. It's too far gone. If you want to see the Joneses, go against what they've been preparing us for all along. And I finally realized that a couple months ago, what the plan actually was. Jeff Kavanaugh did a fantastic breakdown of the financial situation, preparing y'all for what I have been teasing. He did the work, so I'm just going to let y'all go funnel to his channel because he already broke it all down for you, told you all the numbers and the reasons why what I've been saying for months now is what it is, okay? As far as the master plan goes. Let me get back on track here. It's the Cowboys looking for an excuse to distract the media, us, content production, the general public, fans, you name it, okay? From the piss poor product, the embarrassing, archaic offense, and the JV caliber defense just due to nothing other than bad luck. and injury decimation. Now, some of that stuff would have been masked, though. That's part of the problem, is because the Cowboys refused to do the necessary things in terms of team building, right? I've talked to you guys about this even like before the draft. They only team build from one of the three pillars. There's three pillars of team building. They choose to try to do so with just one: draft and develop. Okay. We like our guys. Y'all know all about that by now. It's well documented. Okay. There's draft, there's free agency, there's trade. The Cowboys utilize one of those. Relative to every other team in the National Football League, the Cowboys tried to do so with one. I mean, and it works when you draft well. The last 2 years, the Cowboys haven't drafted well. So that's why the product that you see now is you get what you get when you don't draft well, and then you refuse to add and be anything but bargain shoppers in the free agent and trade market. This is what you get. A couple injuries here and there, a little bit of bad luck. You get this. Consistently giving up 40 points, consistently just looking completely inept. Last in wide receiver separation, last in running back rushing production, right? Your top two ball carriers prior to this week, which is going to change now with Zeke inactive, but Rico and Zeke are 41st and 51st out of 52 qualifying players in terms of rush yards over expected. Rush yards, total rush yards per carry, rush yards per game. It's an embarrassingly low level. I think 74 yards right now is what they're averaging. This past week against the Niners, they averaged 2.7 yards per carry. That just does not cut it. It's embarrassing, guys. But it's all connected. Okay? It's a team that to me feels like they noticed even before I did, an organization that was saying, and Jerry told us this, Dak's going to have to do more with less because they're setting up for 2025. That's the master plan. Okay? Let's talk about the numbers. Jeff Kavanaugh did this breakdown. Please go watch his video. Let me just pull it up for you here just to do right by him because he did the work. I want to make sure that people go and listen. All right. Let me pull it up real quick. Jeff. That is not how you spell Kavanaugh. Holy cow. Hold on. I told y'all I'm tired. Where's it at? It's titled, man, I hate how YouTube sort of like funnels the here we go. From 3 days ago, if you type in Jeff Kavanaugh, let me get this on the screen so y'all can see it. Stop sharing that one. Tired of seeing that. Okay, here we go. Present, share screen. Couple clicks away. Boom. This one right here. Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys, all-in window. I'll show you. Plus the, what else does he say?
More cans.
Plus the trade Micah Parsons discussion. Okay. So in short, what Jeff covered in great detail, what I have been hinting at and getting mocked for, is the Cowboys are going to be, they're setting up the financials to completely reset. Okay. 2025. They right now they have just, let's just say to make it easy to process, $20 million in salary cap. Like they have $20 million of cap space. Okay. 2025, when they, in all likelihood, part ways with Zach Martin, Brandon Cooks, DeMarcus Lawrence, that's going to be roughly $20 million of dead money. So they are going to let the financials, which is why I've been trying to tell people, we all understand the Cowboys aren't going to spend at the trade deadline this year, right? They're not going to do it. They're not putting any money and kicking sort of these proverbial cans down the line, right? They are starting fresh next year. This coming draft, from everybody that walked in free agency last year, they're going to have like 10 draft picks. And then after I explain to you and after you go watch Jeff's video, they're going to have about $100 million to play with, to really get aggressive and go after it. Okay. Once they restructure Dak, CD, probably extend Micah and create some freedom that way. There's some things, some switches that can be flipped. Okay. The salary cap, the cap space that they have this year, the $20 million roughly. Okay. I think it's about 26 to be exact, but just for clean numbers here, 20 million is going to carry over into 2025. And that 20 million from right now is going to take care of the dead money that they're going to be owed to DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin, Brandon Cooks. Wipe that slate clean. Boom. So now everything that you create from a restructure perspective in 2025 is all free money that you have right now, space that you've created to go add, get, trade, acquire, boom. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So that's the master plan. All right. Get that, download it, rewind this, watch it again, comment, tell your friends, let people know what's going on. Okay. I'm telling you right now, this has long been since set up. Now, Jerry's telling you, look, and this is why I bought in, because I drank a little bit of the Kool-Aid. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't hard. That was my MO. Y'all go watch my videos. You'll hear me say this over and over and over again. Not hard to be better running the ball. Not hard to be better stopping a run. I stand by that. But guess what? This team found a way to go backwards in the offensive department. Everything, all the ground that you made up after the bye last year, you went back to square one again. One step forward, two steps back. Archaic offense. If I remember, let me make a note right here just to show you guys a little bit of what works. So, I don't know how many times I got to say it, y'all. It's bunch formations, create natural separation, free releases, okay? Motion at the snap, give yourself leverage, force communication on the defensive side of the ball. You give your guy a head start on top of giving your quarterback tells, seeing what the kind of coverage is going to be. All these different things, guys. And then marrying the run to the passing game. This team can't do any of it for whatever reason. Maybe because they have coaches on their staff that's buddies with Mike McCarthy, who really has never majored or excelled in the running department anyway. But a bunch of old school guys and people like Jeff Blasco, who has never, this is not his area of expertise. So this is things that I'm learning on the fly, things that will prepare me to better prepare you in the future when situations like this arise again. Okay, this team can't do it. And yes, not even Derrick Henry was going to solve the ineptitude that they have happening right now in their rushing attack. Okay, I hope that y'all understand that too. I have come around and admitted that I was wrong more than once on Twitter. You can find this too if you search my name and some of these keywords here. Derrick Henry would have helped the numbers advantage in the passing game because he probably invites at least one more person a lot more often into the box. That makes things easier on Dak. So you can play it. Y'all get that point, okay? But he was not going to solve your issues in the running game. All along, it's been about the how, not the who. All right, same exact reason why Jordan Mason, Isaac Guerrero can go in there and look, equal Christian McCaffrey's production on a per carry basis. It's scheme that helps these situations out, okay? So they did Zeke wrong, in my opinion, because they're sort of scapegoating him, and it seems like serving as yet another distraction to where fans and people like me and members of the media, beat writers, are talking about anything but football. That's what's been so frustrating. I can't even sit here and watch Falcons film and get excited. Because some unfortunate situations have happened with the roster just from an injury perspective. That ain't anybody's fault, man. You're down your top 4 edges and 2 of your top 4 corners. You're lucky. We're lucky we're getting Kalen Carson back, and I'm kind of excited to see what Israel Okwamu can do. Mukwamu can do running with Kyle Pitts. But this offense, man, they got weapons all over the place. They understand how to run the football. They utilize motion. Yeah. So, in the last month, just listen to this, okay? This is all non-football things that have been flooding Cowboys media with, or Cowboys Twitter, Cowboys YouTube, mainstream media, you name it, okay? These are the headlines. We got Jerry beefing with 105 through the fan, threatening to fire people who he's not even technically employing. We've got Mike and Jerry beefing with each other. And one of the numerous, this is numerous, okay? But I'm just going to give you one just for the sake of time here. It's just look at no further than this week. Mike saying, yeah, Trayvon Diggs has had a really good week of practice, trying to be optimistic or whatever, maybe cover some things up, not give any tells for the Falcons, just a little gamesmanship, right? And then Jerry, I think it's on Thursday or Friday, whenever he was on with the 105 through the fan. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs, he's got a tear in his calf. Probably not going to play. So there's that. You've got phantom IRs. After week 2, the Cowboys trade for Jordan Phillips. He was so bad that Mike Zimmer basically, for lack of a better term, put him in timeout. Okay, the reason why I called it a phantom IR is because they faked an injury to designate him to just say, hey, you can't play for us right now. Go have a seat. 4 weeks. He's in the locker room after the game saying, I don't have an injury. I'm fine. My wrist doesn't hurt. I'm good. But he's on IR for a wrist injury. So we've got phantom IRs. We've got, the other thing that Mike and Jerry were beefing about was Jerry saying that it's been the play calling that's been the issue. Just literally, just not only, I mean, as if a lame duck coach on a 1-year expiring contract with an entire coaching staff that really it's clearly not up for the challenge. If that's not enough of an indictment in its own right, it's you got your owner who's just clearly regurgitates everything that he's being told. This is not even necessarily his opinion. I know for a fact that you ain't gonna convince me that Jerry's watching film, y'all. Okay, he's too busy scheduling radio station interviews during the week, but calling out his coach for play calling, which he's not wrong for, but it's frustrating when I know that's just somebody telling him that. Let me get Jeff off here. Sorry, Jeff. Okay. On top of that, we've got Jerry telling or announcing to everyone that Dak Prescott shouldn't run the football more when there's clearly damning evidence suggesting that he should. Patrick Nosey Walker's article, if you missed that, go check that out. I'll actually pull that one up for you too while we're here. Let's just show everybody some love who deserves it, okay? My guy No C on Twitter and on DallasCowboys.com. Fantastic. I think he's the best in the business at what he does. Where are we at? Let's get some science. DallasCowboys.com. Okay. It'll take me a second to find the science lab. There we go. Dak needs to run more. Here's why. Let's go, y'all. Ready for this? Here's the truth. If I pound the table any harder to see the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, can y'all see this? No, you cannot. Now you can. There you go. I want to just really highlight one statement. Let me find it. It's I'm trying to breeze through this, and I apologize if I'm doing any disservice by not finishing out this article, but I'm showing it to you guys right now. It's trust me, it's worth your time. The Science Lab, DallasCowboys.com, titled "Dak Needs to Run More. Here's Why." What he essentially said alluded to this just a fantastic nugget that he dug into and uncovered for us. Dak right now, Dak is on pace to finish the entire 2024 season, so the full 17-game slate, with fewer rushing yards and rushing touchdowns than he had in 2020 through 4 and a quarter and a half, 4 and 2 quarters game. He participated in 5 games before his ankle injury, before he broke his leg in 2020. That's the total rushing output. I think right now he has it's a single digit number of attempts as a runner. Okay. And OC also alludes to, and he's right about this. Now, I will say that Dak looks to me to be less fleet of foot than he ever has been. But that doesn't mean that he can't do some of the things that No C is referring to. Be more efficient in the red zone. Third and 3. Just show it, right? Zone read. Keep it, get 4 yards and slide. Okay, we're not asking him to be Lamar. We're not asking him to be Jaden Daniels. We're not asking him to be Josh Allen. It's just threaten it because you are so inept everywhere else. And you don't have a clean pocket to stand in and deliver from. So you're in more. Jerry's saying, Dak, don't run, protect yourself. Okay. Jerry don't know. You don't know that Dak's in more danger in the pocket right now than he is if he's actually just moving forward and he's in control of any amount of contact that he's faced with. He's in less danger running than he is standing in the pocket right now. All right. So really good article there from No C, but it just goes to show you, there's so many different things right now that have just gone completely south. I couldn't have predicted the offense to go backwards in the running game and in the passing department, eliminating all the modern nuances of football that help this team when they go and they put 14 straight points on the Niners in the fourth quarter. They're doing all the things that I've been telling y'all works, that I've been trying to highlight to people to get y'all to understand. Bunch formations, at snap motion, misdirection. Okay. Let me just pull it up for you. Let's go. I already got it right here. Might as well. Touchdown drive. Okay. Bunch formation to the top. What does that mean, Lando? Right here. You got Kevontae Turpin, looks like Jake Ferguson, and Jalen Tolbert. Okay. Exit motion. So you're forcing communication. You are giving yourself in theory, head start. Turpin does kind of come to a stop. It's more difficult to do these types of things, I will concede, on the road because communication is more difficult on the offense. You can't really hear, right? Crowd noise is a factor. That's a thing. We get it. But still, these are the things that you can go to. And when the Cowboys go to them, they are successful. But why does it take until the fourth quarter until we see it? That's the problem, okay? Exit motion. Right here, Kevontae Turpin. What do we got? Okay, leverage, communication. He's trying to get set. The ball still doesn't get snapped. Boom, look, that corner, he gets all kinds of turnaround. Why? Because the bunch creates natural separation because there's traffic. He's got to sift through. Not only is he having to worry about running with his guy, he's got to avoid all of the other bodies from his own team. All right, bunch formations, stacks, exit motion, at snap motion, okay? Mesh, where you're running routes going across the horizontal element, catching the ball while moving as opposed to vertical stem and stop. Okay, just the stuff that does not work. Dak Prescott has more throws into tight windows than anybody in the National Football League this year. Yes, he's been dog crap awful. Butt soup, as I referred to it on my project. It's on, once again, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You can go find it. But it is a charcuterie board of crap that he's dealing with, and he's pressing. He's trying to be Superman, and it's hurting the team more than it's helping. Right? His internal clock goes, oh shit, every time he drops back because he's pressured on 60% of his throws in numerous games this year, I think. All right, but just watch. I mean, look, bunch formation, okay. Look at that. Wide open throw, good ball. Kevontae Turpin. It's pitch and catch, man. Okay, next play. Here we go. What do we got? I believe this is the vertical stem and stop to Jalen Tolbert, which is just more of the same nonsense. It actually works. Good stuff there. That's what happens when they're, sort of conceding the, it's a little bit more of the, hey, let's just make sure we don't get beat over the top type thing, right? It's just the cushion, keep everything in front defense. Now, here we go again. Short motion, shallow motion, CeeDee Lamb comes all the way across the formation, catching the ball while moving and not stopping. You are leveraging your best player in the slot. He motions a little bit pre, a little bit at snap, whatever you want to call it, okay? But he forces that. Let's go back to, yeah, you guys get it. He forces the communication there. It's just natural separation because I think that's Diamador Lenore. He's got to give some room because of the rub that's in play, okay? He has to sag off so he doesn't, so he avoids hitting his own player. All right, another thing, tight, condensed formation, right? Remember, going into the Saints game when Trayvon Diggs said, yeah, it's Clint Kubiak's system now, but he's from the Shanahan tree. Trey Diggs is saying, I hate dealing with these types of offense, the Shanahan-style offenses. Why? This right here, what you're seeing on your screen, condensed formations. How many times have y'all heard me say this? It causes traffic. Things happen quicker when everything is tightly congested. All right, it's more to process faster for the DBs. Watch what happens. Lots of traffic, lots of guys coming across people's faces. Look, this is mesh, okay? This way. Natural rubs, natural separation like this. Touchdown. Easy pitch and catch. All right, next play. Let's watch it again. And this is desperation mode, right? But they go to the things that work when they're desperate. Why can't we do that when we start the game? Bunch formation. Got a shallow drag right there for a nice release. Another thing, CeeDee Lamb running to daylight, okay? Catching the ball on the move, not just stopping. These are things that work, guys. Beautiful concept here. They're playing with more pace too. Pace always seems to help because Dak really, if there's only one thing that Dak Prescott is elite at, which there's not, his superpower, y'all. It's the things that Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, numerous other former coaches, players, and scouts tell you what a lot of us that really watch and dive deep and dig below the surface on Dak Prescott or just anybody in general know about this type of quarterback play. It's Dak's ability to see and process what's happening from the defense and get his team into the right play situation. That's what happened last year. After the bye, Mike McCarthy let go of the reins a little bit, and it was all, hey, Dak, save us. And he did, right? But he can't create separation. He can't run teams out of too high, drop back, vision-based zone coverage. He can't pass protect for himself. He's been bad, y'all, but there's nothing happening. There's nothing positive happening around him. I forget what happens on this play. It's a tough throw right there too. And that's yet another, this route concept to me, just when I talk about vertical stem and stop, this is stagnant pre-snap motion here. Nothing happening from a leverage perspective, and everybody just run straight and turn around. Watch it again. This is what I mean, guys, okay? You are not forcing anybody to communicate, to move, everybody's just dropping back and just comfortably sitting in their own zone, their predetermined zone. Nobody crossing face, no mesh, nothing. Watch it again. Vertical stem and stop. How many guys are moving right now? The answer, there's only one potential pass catcher, and that's Zeke Elliott, who is no threat as a receiver anymore. Just look at this. Look at the screen. If you're driving, if you're listening with your headphones in, grab your device, look at your TV, whatever you got to do. Look at what I'm talking about. This right here is the bane of my existence as an objective content producer, as a fan of this team, as somebody who I just want to see you do things that help your team out. And there's none of that at nearly high enough of a clip. And when it does happen, we see success. This is just a really good throw. CD does a really good job of finding the window and kind of just sitting in it. That's just, it's pitch and catch, but man, it shouldn't have to be that difficult. And this works once again. It's just frustrating. That's a tough throw. Let's get to the next play. feel like I forgot to say something really important. So if I did, I apologize, y'all. I'm trying to do the best I can here. This is a beautiful concept right here. Look at that. I mean, come on now. Look at the difference. All right. You've got H-back, running back, tight splits, condensed formations. You've got motion at the snap, misdirection. Okay. Look, there's leverage right there. Jake Ferguson getting a head start, forcing communication. Guys saying, "Oh, okay, who's got him? Who's got?" It's a shift in coverage. Okay, and that shift, you see the borderline desperate breakdown from the safety. They shift in from a it's really middle field open and shift to middle field closed. So that gives Dak a pretty clear tell because Jake Ferguson has a head start. I believe that is that Hufanga? I don't know. I don't know. But shoots downhill really quickly, and then watch what happens. He's trying to get there in a hurry, okay? That desperation right there forces miscommunication, and then what happens? It's a busted coverage. They run into each other. That's another, it's a version of a rub or a mesh route that I talk about all the time, and CD breaks wide open. Why? The route combination did that. He didn't have to do that on his own. He didn't break anybody down like that. That's the scheme right there. That's scheming touchdowns. It doesn't have to be hard. Right? It's, those are the things that work, right? And then if you want to see what doesn't work, just go watch pretty much every other drive prior to that point. I'm 37 minutes in my head. When I hit record, I thought I was going to get out of here in 15. Y'all got me on a tangent, and it's been too long. Like I said, it's just been really hard for me to sit down because it's like there's so much for me to talk about. It's like I have paralysis by analysis right now. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, I don't know. The season, things can get better, guys. If you were to somehow win tomorrow, which I'll be amazed. I don't know how this game is really even close. It's going to take maniacal effort to a level that we still have yet to see. Right? I've been calling for maniacal effort. You go search my name in the YouTube bar, just go to my videos, and you'll see maniacal effort all over the place. Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Because it's just the hand this team was dealt, man. This front office elected to not do anything that would threaten their cash spending in the 2025 calendar year and beyond. That's their window. With all these contract extensions, they got everybody in place now for the future. So it's really just about, okay, let's maneuver some numbers. Let's create space. And we're not really going to do anything. It's all going to be, we're going to have to hit on some draft picks, but if you ain't one of our elite, like franchise caliber players, they've got Trey Diggs locked up. They got, in theory, 2 corners, franchise caliber corners, an all-pro, all-world edge rusher, an all-pro, all-world receiver, and an MVP caliber quarterback still, when everything is even remotely functional around him. Okay? No, he's not Patrick Mahomes. No, he is not Josh Allen. No, he is not going to have the ability to erase. It's intangibles that make Dak so good, like that make him as serviceable of a player as he is today, that make him the 60 million caliber quarterback that he is. Just a guy that's like undoubtedly in the top 10, that's well regarded across the league against people who are unbiased, objective observers of his game. It's up here. That's the things that's what I've always bet on, just his ability to overcome adversity, right? But everything he's been through in his personal life, this ain't nothing. Never had the wow trait. But his wow trait is the intangible. And that's what most people are unwilling to recognize. But he's got to stop trying to play Superman, because he will continue to cripple this team. This team can't overcome any mistakes. And he keeps making mistakes because he's trying to do too much because nobody else is doing anything offensively. Okay. That's all I got, man. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know. I know I've forgotten some other things. Y'all know where to find me. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You know how we do it here, okay? Sports below the surface. That's what the Lando Show is. You see it on the shirt. That's what I'm about, man, and that's what I can't wait to continue bringing to y'all. Some exciting things planned for the future. But tomorrow, the season really it starts and stops tomorrow on the road at Atlanta. 3 days before the trade deadline. Don't expect anything. They're not going to be buyers. What if things go the way that I could see them going tomorrow? Really bad? Also, Digizua, what's your league value right now? What can we do to maximize our third-round draft pick investment in you from 4 years ago? Can we trade you for what would amount to something more, maybe instead of a third-round, fourth-round comp pick? I don't know what kind of contract he would garner, but he's going to get paid, and you will get a comp pick for it. Let's just call it conservatively a fourth-round comp pick, okay? Could you trade him now for a fourth-round pick so that way you don't have to wait an extra year for that comp? That's a smart business decision. Jordan Lewis, he's got some value in this league. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely get a early, let's say early day 3 pick for his services right now. One of the better nickel corners, slot cover corners in the game today, I'd venture to say. A couple other guys I'm sure that I'm forgetting, but maybe TJ Bass has some appeal to somebody. The master plan is to plan for 2025 and beyond, guys. Brand new coaching staff. Let this year's cap space take care of the dead money next year that'll be owed, or that'll be as a result of the departures of Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence. Who's the other one? Brandon Cooks. All right, and then you restructure a few things and flip a few switches, and that's the all-in that we all wanted to see this year. Okay. That's all I got. I'm out of here. Prayer changes things, guys. Remember, the battle rages on, but the war is already won.